Hi. Today, uh, the topic on my mind is women. So I'm going to talk about women. Women, as I've come to understand them over the years. So I have a mini list here about what I'm going to talk about, just off the top of my head. So I have what they want. What do women want? As the first mini topic. So what do women want? The short answer is who cares? Who cares what they want? Because they themselves don't know what they want. But I can counter argue that with biology, of course, and evolution. So women evolved to want certain things in life. Want? Yes, to want and need certain things in life. So I'm going to start with the needs first. Of course, we evolved alongside each other, the male and the female. So the female had to evolve in such a way that prioritized her survival, prioritized her gene pool, and gene pool is genetics. Yes, genetics. So prioritize her survival and genetics, basically. I might touch on the men just to complement my points I'm going to make about the women. So biologically, women evolved for survival. That's why most of them are um, solipsistic. Huh? Words that start with S mess with my mind. Solipsistic. Solipsism. Soli. Let me define. Define solipsism. They even spell it right. Anyway, solipsism is the philosophical idea that only one's own mind is sure to exist. Okay. So women evolved to be solipsistic. So in their minds, nothing but them exists. Like to them, they cannot see, they cannot what's the word? They cannot be aware of their environment. So they to them it's like they are the center of the world. Like they cannot see anything outside of themselves. So basically they are kind of self-centered. They don't see anything outside of themselves. Because nature just evolved them to be that way. Like it is a survival strategy. And so to the men who keep trying to drill certain points and certain facts into this female's mind, like very few would come to terms with it, because okay, there's going to be exceptions, of course, but mostly the female mind evolved to be self-centered. Like like it's only them that they see, then they cannot consider any other perspective. They're not like the men. The men can do what? The men can put themselves in other people's shoes, can see different perspectives. So basically, there's a very good example. When a woman holds a phone, the first thing she's going to do is direct it towards herself, taking selfies. But when a man holds a phone, if he's going to capture something, the first thing he's going to do is direct it towards the world. So for the man, he's trying to see the entire world, and the woman is just focusing on herself. That's a very good example. You should start observing something like that. Like every time men and women go out, the woman is going to take out her phone and just focus on herself, start taking selfies, start taking snaps, stuff like that, smiling, fake smiling. But the man is going to take out his phone, start filming the entire venue, what's happening around him. So that's a very good example of solipsism. And that's just how men and women evolved. Like the women are self-centered, the men just have to go out into the world and conquer the world and shape the world. So the second point is genetics. Wait, what was I discussing? What they want. Oh yeah, they evolved the survival strategy of solipsism, and then nature evolved them to prioritize their genes. So I'm going to jump into some other mini topic I had. Anyway, it delves well into what I'm going to say. So they were evolved to have a mating strategy that prioritizes their gene pool. And that mating strategy is what people have, the people who have figured this out have come to call hypergamy. And hypergamy is a dual mating strategy where the female has two needs, basically. There's the need for alpha seed, good genes, and there's a need for beta need, the provision. So basically, when you Google hypergamy, which is the mating strategy I'm talking about, hypergamy, they're going to give you a very different definition. So the definition they're going to give you is hypergamy refers to the act or practice of marrying or forming a relationship with someone of a higher social status than oneself. This is like hypergamy, but it's still one side. This is the other side of hypergamy, but there's some other side. So hypergamy is a dual mating strategy, and it's men cannot be hypergamous. This is like a general definition they give, but men cannot be hypergamous. It's only women that can be hypergamous. And so explaining hypergamy, I'm first going to explain the alpha seed. Basically, there's a short form for it. It's called AFBB. Alpha seed, beta need. And or alpha fax, beta bucks. So the alpha seed is basically women going for the hot dudes, the hot guys, the masculine, quote unquote toxic men. So if you ever wonder why women always go for those guys, it's that's how they evolved. It's a mating strategy, and they usually go for these guys in their early years, early 18, early 20s, early mid 20s. There, that's when they go for the alpha fax or the alpha seed. So you will see these women hanging out with the toxic bad boys. That kind of age bracket. And then, because like the women peak at around 22, 23, like their beauty peaks at around that time. They're the most fertile, they're the most attractive, they're the most feminine. So at around that time, their hypergamy is going to dictate that they go for the best genes. And these best genes are going to be found in, of course, the bad boys, the toxic men, the good-looking men, those men who don't give a fuck what women want. And then, as the women get older, at around 27, 28, 29, basically, this is like the baby rabies phase. Baby rabies phase. Like they usually say, it's when the clock is what is ticking, but that's false. The biological clock starts ticking the moment they start their what their first period. Then the biological clock is like, we are ready. Let's start ticking down. But the moment they reach 27, 28, 29, that's when the looks start fading. The looks start fading. She's gone through so many. Okay, she's like slept with so many men by that time. Most of the time, not all women will do, but most of the time, like that's the default. Like it's very hard to find a virgin woman at that age. They are there, but it's very hard. So at that age, yeah, baby rabies, they start looking for men to marry. Before their time runs out, basically. So that's why you will find that the marriages that happen that are not arranged, because there are still some arranged marriages. I came to notice there are still some arranged marriages, but these marriages that happen that are not arranged, you'll find that the guy is usually like early 30s, 31, 32, and the girl is also like usually the same age or in the same age bracket, 28, 29, 30. The time has come. And usually, so this phase, the girl, of course, won't look for the bad boy to marry. Like you can't settle with the bad boy. You can't settle with the toxic man. So you'll need the other side of hypergamy, the better bucks, the better provisioning. So that's what they go for. So you'll notice that this guy is usually the well-off guy. Has a very good job, is stable, has a house, has a car, dependable, reliable. Yeah, those are the guys they get married to at around that age. 28, 29, 30. Gomanya, karumie. So that's hypergamy. That's hypergamy operating. And hypergamy is like a subroutine for those who did some computer science. It's a small program that runs in their I'm losing the word. I'm losing the biological term. The biological term was gone. So it's a subroutine that keeps on running in their what? I want to say subconscious, but it's not a subconscious. It's like in their primitive part of the brain. Like this keeps running all the time. So a subroutine here is a set of instructions designed to perform a frequently used. Okay, yeah. So let's take a subroutine as a small program that keeps running in their mind, in their head. So all women are hypergamous. Men cannot be hypergamous, and hypergamy is what? Alpha fax, beta bucks, alpha seed, beta need. Like it's dualistic. It keeps running until they just die. Like all women have this small program running in their mind. And hypergamy always asks, is he the best I can do? That's the question that hypergamy always asks. Okay, that small subroutine that keeps running in their mind. So it keeps asking, is this man the best I can do? And for the man, the answer should like your actions as the man, your actions should convey to her that indeed you're the what? You're the best she can do. Because hypergamy never seeks her own level. And that's why the definition of of Google says it's the act or practice of marrying or forming a relationship with someone of a higher social status than oneself. So hypergamy is not going to seek her own level. She's going to go for a man who is better than her. So a man who makes more money than her, a man who is stronger than her, is well read than her, has traveled to more places than her, things like that. So And now that brings me to of course you'll find like a very pretty woman with a very not so good looking man, and then ask, hey, but where is the hypergamy at play here? Hypergamy is always at play, and that will mean that of course like looks matter to women, but they're like complementary. Like it's good the guy is good looking, but that does not really matter to women. There are other facts that arouse them. Things like irrational self confidence or overconfidence. Things like competency. Maybe the guy is funny. You know, these stand up comedians. Maybe the guy uh, the guy has game, like facts very well, like it's good in the bedroom. Maybe the guy has money. I remember hypergamy, like beta bucks, that's where the money comes in. Maybe the guy is good in bed, the other side of alpha facts. So yeah, you'll find such dynamics, and then you'll start asking, but where is the hypergamy in this scenario? Or you'll find that the woman out earns the man by a mile, like 5, even 10 times sometimes, and then you'll ask, but where is the hypergamy at play here? But the hypergamy is always at play. So if that's the case, then that will mean that this guy is not in the better need side of hypergamy. Of course, like if the woman out earns you, then you're not providing anything. So you're not in the better back side of hypergamy. This puts you in the alpha seed, alpha need. So this is where you'll find broke boys, broke boys having a rotation of women of very good looking career women, like baba boys, because there's this myth as well that women need a relationship to have sex, which is very, very false. Like, women can have sex without having a relationship. They will fuck you anytime, any day. They'll fuck you and then hide in the closet as your wife comes back from work. Hypergamy. They are looking for the alpha fax, the alpha seed. And sometimes because even these other guys on this side of hypergamy still get sex, right? Because you get married. Of course, sometimes the woman is going to give you some. So basically there's going to be the alphas in this side of hypergamy, the alpha seed, alpha fax. Then the betas are going to be in this side of fall in this side of hypergamy. So all these guys get sex, but there's a difference in the kind of sex that all these guys receive. So on this side of hypergamy, the sex is validational. Like, the woman really, 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 really wants to fuck you. Then this side, boy, you first have to do something. Like, buy her flowers, make dinner, take her out, buy her dresses, Sayanga Valentine because of it, yeah. Like, you have to, on this side of the what? On this side of hypergamy, you have to work for it. You have to jump through hoops. Even sometimes, actually, even most times, you get married because you need access to sex. But this dude over here, with his mattress on the floor and gaming console and screen in his one room, like, he's getting free sex. Like, he's not even doing anything. Like, for you, you'll go out with the girl on a date, buy her stuff, and then she will pack the food and bring it to this guy, and after they'll do what? They'll fuck. So that's the validation of sex I'm talking about. Like the girl really, really wants to fuck this guy. And this guy doesn't have to do anything to get that sex. But you, on the other hand, my friend, you're going to take her out, compliment her, buy her dresses, buy her flowers, date her for like 4 years before you even get access to some. So yeah, that's hypergamy. And it's I find it very, very interesting. Like I see it all the time. The first moment I read about it, I was like, I was mind blown. I was like, wow, this is, because then I could like see it everywhere. Like the Facebook posts I used to read about. I used to listen to Sanyu, and there were those what do they call them, love letters that they used to read at around 10 in the morning, and the girl was like complaining, da, 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 and you could see like, what, this is a hypergamy at play. So basically I became Neo. Huh? I became Neo, and I could see the code in the matrix. I was like, I see everything now. So yeah, basically that's hypergamy. And there's a very good book if you want to dive deep into it. There's a very good book by the author Rollo Tomasi called The Rational Male. This book, go get it. It's a very nice read. So yeah, this will like give you a very deep dive on what hypergamy really is, and it will help you understand it. So the other thing on my list was who they date. Yeah, so we've spoken about who they date. They date every man, but by the way, but it will depend on where she is, on the timeline, on her timeline. Like if she is early 20s, like campus girls, boy, there's no way they are going to date some broke guy unless this broke guy falls on this side of hypergamy. Like maybe he's good looking, like he's fit, he's athletic, maybe he has some kind of status, maybe he's guild president, maybe he has a brother who owns a bar, or maybe he owns the bar himself, maybe he drives a car. So these men will usually give off vibes that make them fall in this side of hypergamy. So you'll find the campus girls going for those kinds of men. But even as they go for those kinds of men, they can still simultaneously go for these guys. So she'll go here to have sex, the validation of sex. Then at the same time, she'll do what? She'll go to this side. Now, at this side will be the men who have jobs. These older men, like early 30s, mid 30s. So she'll date the same guy, like the classmate, who is very good looking, very toxic, quote unquote, gives off very masculine vibes. So she'll date this guy, and she'll have validation sex with him, but at the same time she'll still have another man somewhere. Like it's not, this is very common, right? She'll have another man somewhere katengano yamwa kusente, but even this man will sometimes get sex, but it will be transactional. So this is validational sex, this is transactional sex. Like, so this guy is working for it, but this guy is not working for it. You get? That's hypergamy. So that's who they date basically. They date across, like they date everyone. It just depends, like category. You as the man, you have to find out, where do you fall. Do you fall on this side? Do you fall on this side? You'll evaluate and see for yourself. So basically that's hypergamy, and that's who they date. The other thing was mating strategies, which is the AFBB. That's the dual mating strategy I was talking about. Uh, then the other thing I have is sapiosexual women. Sapiosexual women. So sapiosexuals basically are people who are attracted to intelligence. Hmm? That's what they say. Nayakati, for me, I'm like, man, I don't believe sapiosexual women exist. Because sapiosexuality, as Google defines it, is finding intelligence sexually attractive or arousing. Now, me, with my knowledge of hypergamy, I go like, I don't see this as often as possible. In fact, I don't see it at all. Like, if I land on a couple and the man is highly intelligent, that is not why the woman is with him. The man could be very intelligent, but he has other qualities that this woman finds arousing. Qualities such as maybe the guy is tall, maybe the guy is athletic, maybe the guy has money, maybe the guy is very, very masculine, lean body, alpha, basically. But the man having all these traits, and also being what, intelligent. So the woman will of course say, I'm sapiosexual. My man is very intelligent. Da, 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 da. But there's so many intelligent men, yeah, and these men like are sexless. They are incels. They are involuntary celibates. Like they are very smart men. They are, when you go to campus, you'll find very smart men, very smart young boys. How come they go to their dorm rooms and hostels and masturbate? Huh? You mean they can't find sapiosexual women? So it's not the intelligence that these women are attracted to. There are some other traits that intelligent man has that attracts this girl to them. Huh? This girl to them? Yes. So that's how I view sapiosexuality. Like, as a man, I don't find intelligence in women arousing. Like, the woman being intelligent is okay, but I'm going to look at other things first. Like, is she fuckable? Can I actually have sex with this girl? Like, is she young? Is she feminine? I'm going to first look at how attractive she is before I consider her intelligence. Her intelligence will come later. Maybe, she's actually very smart, but that's not like the leading trait, the leading cause for my arousal. Like it's very impossible to project intelligence. Like you can't be walking on the streets and emanating intelligence. Like you cannot give off intelligence as a vibe. This is something people find out when they get to know you. And usually how modern dating nowadays works, like people first have to find you arousing. They first have to find you attractive before they even get to what? To talk to you. So this sapiosexual thing, I don't think it exists. I think it's just another fancy word people came up with to mask the actual what? The actual traits that arouse them. And I think it's, of course, it's something women like to do. Like when you sit a woman down and ask her, what do you find attractive in a man? She's going to tell you things like, I want a man who is caring. I want a man who loves me more than I love him. I want a man who is financially stable. I want a man who brings me flowers. I want a man who checks up on me. I want a man, like, they'll give you a list of all these nice things that they supposedly find attractive in men. But when you observe their behavior, you're like, Lindako, you told me you find this attractive in men. But how come you're now dating? I'm going to say John. How come you're now dating John? John never calls you back. John never texts you back. You found John fucking another girl, but you still say you love him. You found John has never given you flowers. John has never taken you out for dates. But you're like the behavior she's showing you are like she's so attracted to John, but not the other guy that she told you that she wants. The caring guy, the guy who gives her flowers, the guy who takes her out on dates. So basically, when it comes to women, just never take what they say seriously. Just focus on their actions. Like, what do they show you? That's the truth. Yeah, I was still on sapiosexual women. Yeah, there's no such thing as a sapiosexual woman. Like, there's no way you can find intelligence attractive. Because if that was the case, then people would be falling in love with AI and computers. Like, that's intelligence right there. How can you find intelligence attractive? Kuuza just kusumbua. So the other thing on my list I had is the whole phase. The whole phase. The whole phase is a very interesting one. The whole phase nicely ties with what? With hypergamy. So the whole phase is what I'm talking about. The whole phase. So the whole phase usually starts sometimes even as early as 14. Yeah, these girls can start fucking even as early as 14, 16 underage. And the whole phase usually starts, okay, let's say 18 for legal issues. 18 to 26 maybe. Like, this is when the girl is hitting, is in her prime, let's say. Her prime, like most attractive, most sexual, most feminine. She looks very young, she looks very fertile, she's prime. So the whole phase, that's like the prime what? Yeah, the prime time. And it's so unfortunate that this happens to be Form 6 to end of campus. Like, usually that time is when these women are in their prime. And that's when they're like in environments where they are so free to do anything. So you'll find this girl having, they're not even boyfriends. Like, okay, they'll say you can call them boyfriends, but they're not boyfriends. Like, okay, let's say men. This girl has so many men. She's sleeping with everyone because she's in her prime. Like, she has so much power at that time to attract to attract every man from all walks of life. The 18-year-old young men will find her attractive. The 20-year-old men will find out attractive. The 25, 30, even old men in their 40s will find the 20-something girl attractive. Not will, they do. So you'll find this girl dating all kinds of people. So, yeah, that's the whole phase. And usually it lasts up until 26. Some even push it up until their 30s. So they're like riding people from 6 vacation, orientation campus. They're just right down with some God. So that's the whole phase. And of course, men can be hoes. Like, how can men be hoes? Women are the hoes. The men are the homemakers. That's why it says double standard, because hoes are not respected socially. Hoes, I mean the women who are hoes are not respected socially. But a man who has, gone through a number of women, the society will like revere that kind of man. But then they'll look down on the other side, like the woman who actually does the same thing. So yeah, double standard, yeah, because that's that's how we evolved. That the man has the ability to run through so many girls and remain unaffected. But by the time a girl has a body count in the double digits, sometimes even triple digits, like Abawedeo, Abawedeo, she can no longer pay a bond. You'll find a 25-year-old woman looking like she's 31. There was that. What happened? Hey, she's been through a lot. Oh, so yeah, that's the whole phase. So usually the girls go through the whole phase, out of fresh out of A level, senior six, then all throughout campus. Then they'll get a job, still get run through. Then by the time they're like 27, 28, 29, they'll start feeling the attractiveness fading. They'll start realizing that they are not pulling the same number of men they used to pull. They start realizing that now they are finding themselves buying their own drinks at bars, and then it will hit them and it's time to what? To lock down someone. So then they will find some guy somewhere who has never had sex, or maybe some guy who has only ever had like one or two women. Atenga nabo bubi. Bagwe koyo. Some very poor guy in his early 30s looking for love, baferoy. Which brings me to church girls, by the way. So hypergamy is very interesting. Like, it doesn't care if you believe in God or you do not believe in God. Like, these girls will fuck these funeral girls. So these girls who go to Umbonye because of it. Yeah, those ones. There's one time in 2019. This was before I actually read this book. Where did I put it? 2019. Like, I was on my way to reading this book because I had begun asking those kinds of questions. So I began. There were some podcasts I used to listen to, and I noticed something about this church girl. Like, this church girl was pregnant. I was like, but wait, you believe in Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior. Like, how come? How come you're getting pregnant out of wedlock? So I did not understand like that hypergamy was at play. Like, hypergamy doesn't care if the girl believes in Jesus, if the girl believes in God, she'll go and twerk and then come and kneel down and pray on Sunday. These girls are yeah, something else. And I find that very, very, very interesting. Like, I used to despise church girls because I was like, I was looking at it through the male lens. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like, how can you believe something so deeply? Like, how can you quote unquote believe something so deeply and then go and do something else? It could not make sense in my mind. But yeah, then I came to read about hypergamy and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So this is what is at play. That's why when it comes to belief in God, if a woman tells me they believe in God, I'd be like, God, Saga, what do you mean believe? There's no way these women believe in anything. It's only the men who can actually believe in things like that, in idealistic concepts like that, like God. So you'll find a very spiritual young man, believes in God, has a girlfriend, they never kiss, maybe they hug once in a while, and this guy is dating this girl, they go to fellowships together, they kneel down and pray. in his eyes, this girl is pure, innocent, like has never done any wrong. Like she is such an angel in his eyes. Naye nga girl byaliko hypergamy emubuuba emutwala eri emutwala eri. Huh? She's kneeling down, if you know what I mean. She's kneeling down. Oh, I have a friend group, and these guys, like, their main source of sex is church girls. Like, they go to Fanero and start looking for girls to, to sleep with. I tell my value, they're always there. So yeah, you'll find some guy, some 21, 23-year-old guy, Mukampa Sao, with his quote unquote virgin girlfriend. He thinks she's still a virgin. They're going to get married one day, which is true most of the time. Like, the girl will marry the guy, but she will string him along for years. And eventually, of course, they'll get married. The guy will think he's the luckiest guy on planet Earth to have gotten married to this beautiful angel. Wait. So where was I? The Hofes. I was still in the Hofes. Yeah. So the old girls go through the Hofes. I'm going to say yes. There's going to be exceptions, and yeah, if you're lucky, you'll find a girl who's slept with like maybe 2, maybe 3 men. 5 is such a small number in this age today. Like, you find a girl with a body count of 5. That's like mind blowing. It's of course there's going to be men who'll be like 5. That's too much. But 5 is actually a very low number, because these girls are hitting 50 in year one. Like, in year one, she's like slept with over 50 guys, and that's like what, 20. She's 20. She has slept with like 50 guys already. Like, that's the default now. Like, by the time this girl has graduated, just assume she's slept with so many men. So yeah, I want to talk about alpha widows, but I don't think I have the time. Maybe some other time, because there's a dynamic. Say this girl has slept with 50 women, right? So how do you lock her down, basically? How do you make sure she only sees you? So there's this dynamic called alpha widows, and how I can best explain that is there's going to be alphas in this girl's life. When we go back to hypergamy, AFBB, alpha facts, beta facts. So there's going to be guys throughout her lifetime. Maybe she slept with 10 guys before you met her. So it is very probable that among those 10 guys, there's going to be one guy who fell. Who fell? Is that proper grammar? Proper English? Who falls? Falls? Okay, whatever. There's going to be one guy who was on this side of what? Of hypergamy. One standout guy who was the alpha, who was like so alpha. He emanated so many alpha qualities that put a mark on this girl. It could have been the first guy. Most likely it's the first guy. Most likely. If the girl is like a virgin, usually the first guy she sleeps with is the alpha in her eyes. But it could be the second guy, third, fourth, seventh. So that guy who made such an impact on this girl, like forever, like this girl will never forget this guy. So that guy widows the girl. Like custom dumping, or it never works out. Like the girl becomes a what? An alpha widow. So alpha widow in the sense that she's widowed from the other guy, the other alpha guy, who made such a strong impact emotionally on her. Like she will never forget. Like you'll find her naming your kids after this guy. Hmm? Sometimes even after like marriage, she'll be like, side dude, kwegamba, like she will never move on from this guy, no matter what you do. An example I have is who? Will Smith and Tupac Shakur. So Jada Smith was alpha widowed by Tupac. And then came Will Smith. So Will Smith, with all his money, of course, Will Smith is a millionaire, multi-millionaire, very good looking, very charming, athletic. But even with all those qualities, like Jada could not move on from Tupac. She was alpha widowed forever. she could not move on from Tupac. So we found during the other entanglement scenario we had. So my view was like Jada was now looking for what? Traits in August. Traits that what's the word? What's the English word? It has gone. Okay, traits that reminded her of Tupac in August. Maybe she saw Tupac in August, you know? Traits that Will didn't have. Will in this sense is what they call a better man, like better, like that kind of man. So if Tupac was the alpha, Will Smith is the beta. And so Jada never moved on. And that's the proper definition of an alpha widow. And you can see this like in your day-to-day life. Just maybe start observing. I don't know how you'll start observing, but just keep that in mind that such women exist. Or before you actually go and marry, maybe do a background check. Of course, it's very hard for the girl to tell you like how many guys she slept with. They never consider these one night stands. They never consider the guy who fucked her, some random dude who fucked her from the bathroom in a club. Whatever jukida, those ones they don't consider them. Some guy who fucked him with a condom, that doesn't count as sex, things like that. So they will tell you maybe the number of boyfriends they've had over there or throughout their life. But yeah, you need to do some digging, especially if you're going to marry. Especially if you're going to marry this girl, like you need to do some serious, become your own personal investigator. Dig. So I want to end with something. What should I end with? Oh, marriage. I have marriage listed here. Let me end with marriage. So marriage. I personally do not believe in marriage. I don't think it's a useful technology. I think it's outdated, especially now because like the dating scene has changed. The sexual marketplace has changed drastically. Like it makes marriage such an asinine concept. Like who gets married in this day and age? Who? with these women who are not virgins, first of all. By the time you meet them, they'll fuck like 20 guys. And they expect you to like provide for them. Of course they expect. You know why they expect? Because AFBB, alpha facts, beta backs. It's hypergamy. It's like it's drilled into them to expect such things. So you as the man has to find out like, where do I fall? If I'm going to marry this girl, yes, I'm going to marry her, but am I marrying her on my terms or her terms? You ask yourself. Ask yourself. Then for the arranged marriages, that one I don't know, because by the time you have an arranged marriage, then just take what they give you, because you clearly do not have the skills and the ability, the finesse to navigate this sexual marketplace. Just take whatever they give you and be grateful to your parents. Otherwise, if you're to get married, man, do some digging. I personally do not believe. Can you say I personally? Personally, I do not believe in marriage. Like, there's no way I can get married. Not with the knowledge I have. There's no way I can get married. Of course, I say there's no way I can get married, but I do see myself getting married, just not in the way that society gets married. Like, I have my own version of marriage in my head. So, yeah. Uh, what else about marriage? Marriage used to make sense. Like back in the day when the girl was a virgin and she knew what to, she knew how to please the soon-to-be husband. She was chaste. She was respectful. You know, marriage made sense back in the day. Societies needed to be built. Civilization needed to be built. But now with the advent of feminism, which has freed up these girls, birth control pills, girls are now fucking all the time, anything. Yeah, so when it comes to marriage, I think it's best the marriage happens on the guy's terms. Like the guy has to decide, like, okay, yes, I want to get married. But the decision should not be driven by who? By the girl. Like it should not be the girl pushing for marriage. Like that's not a healthy way to do it. Like the guy has to come to terms. Like yeah, I now should get married to this girl, or I now want to get married to this girl. Like there should be zero pressure, zero to get married. That's how I say it. I don't condemn marriage. Don't condemn it. For some people, it's beautiful. Uh, but to me, it's a very useless technology. So if all the men were armed with the knowledge I have, I don't think people would be getting married. Uh, but yeah. So yeah, do you want to get married, or do you want to become my long-term partner? There's a difference, right? There's a difference there. Like, do you want to become my long-term mate, or do you just want to get married? Because they say women get married to what? To lifestyles. Like this guy, this Canary Mogume guy, Canary Mogume, didn't he get married and then get divorced right away? Like their wedding or cost what? 400 M. I don't remember the exact figure. Did they get divorced? I don't know. Actually, I don't know. But I think they did. Let me see. Let me add divorce on there and see. They say that the more expensive the wedding, the more likely a divorce is going to happen. Kanari Mogome allegedly received millions in US aid. Is now embroiled in a bitter divorce. Oh, yes, of course they are. Of course they are to God. Anyway, yeah. So basically, that's marriage. Marriage is. I don't like lavish weddings. I think at most invite like 50 people. 50, like from both sides of the family. 50 people max. Like the wedding should be as small and sweet and loving, budget friendly. But you find people spending millions on weddings. Millions, like what? Millions. How? How do you spend? What? It blows my mind. Of course, it doesn't like blow my mind. I know, but I know exactly what's happening. I know what's happening. I know hypergamy is at play, and some better guy, some guy there thinks like he has landed the most beautiful, most angelic wife who has never done anything wrong, and she deserves this much. End up spending millions on the wedding. Anyway, to each his own. Uh Maybe get married to like 3 women, right? Hey, I will njap gamba. Yes. I will approve. oh, yeah. Anyway, I think I should end with that. This time I charged my PC, so the thing didn't pop up. Low battery. Usually that's my timer to make to let me know it's time to wind up. But yeah, I've touched on marriage, which was the last thing I had listed down here. About women. I don't know what the title is going to be. I don't know. I'll come up with it later. So yeah, catch you next time.